All right, today I'm sharing something with you that will guarantee you sink more putts. So the fastest way to sink more putts, we got to know what our most common misses are. So if you have a tendency to miss your right breaking putts low, or if you have a tendency to hit those downhill putts just a little too long, leaving you those comebackers that make your knees wobble a little bit, whatever the case, you need to find out what that is. Now I'm kind of a data nerd, so I wanted to create a sheet that could quickly gather my putting data and create an output that makes the information easy to digest. You can grab it for free at the link in the description. So we're gonna hit a bunch of putts today, and with each putt, we're gonna gather 6 different data points. Number 1, did you make the putt? Number 2, did you misread the putt? Number 3, if you missed, was it left? 4, if you missed, was it right? 5, did you miss it long? And 6, did you miss it short? So we're gonna plug in all this data for each putt. By the end, you're gonna have all the data you need to help you sink more putts. First up, we have a 6-foot downhill putt breaking to the right. So I'm gonna find one here on the practice screen. I'm gonna take 2 paces to get to my 6 feet. Now I'm gonna read the putt, and I'm gonna pick a spot about 18 inches in front of the ball, something that I can line up. It's really important to pay attention to if you roll the ball over the target. You'll see why in just a minute here. So I've got my putt lined up. I've got my aim target, and I'm just gonna hit the putt. Okay, so even though that putt went in the hole, we're gonna call it a misread. And that's because my putt went left of my aiming point. Had I hit it over the intended aiming point, what I thought the break did, I would have missed it low. So that's a misread, even though it's also a make, and I'm marking those both here right on the chart. Let's do one more example. We need a 15-foot uphill putt breaking to the left. So I find my hole here. I'm gonna take 5 paces for 15 feet. Drop that down. I'm gonna read the putt, and I'm gonna find my aiming line 18 inches in front of the ball. I got it right here. I'm gonna step up to the putt. Okay, I hit my intended line, but I missed right. So we misread that. I hit it over the intended line, and it did not go in. We missed to the right. So we're gonna mark misread and miss to the right and move on to our next putt. We're gonna keep doing this all the way down through the spreadsheet, and then we'll have a lot of awesome data. So in order to get good data, we need to complete all of the putts on the spreadsheet. If you don't do everything listed here, the output's gonna be inaccurate and give you bad numbers. So make sure you do all of your putts before looking at your results page. All right, now comes the best part. We finished all of our putts on the shot entry page. Now we're gonna go over to the results tab and see what we got. So I've put together 14 different charts here on the output page that are gonna give you all the information you could possibly need to uncover your weaknesses and sink more putts. The red boxes are the stats broken down by distance. Light green shows your make rate compared to different handicaps from that distance. Yellow shows just the grand totals for all putts that we did. Dark green shows your make rates and misreads based on distances and types of putts. A lot of really good information in these 2 charts. And finally, the gray boxes are all your stats broken down by the type of putt, whether it's an uphill, downhill, left breaking, right breaking. These gray boxes are gonna give you all the info on those. All right, now I like to use the yellow box as my starting point. The first thing that jumped out at me was that my most common problem is misreading the putt. So right off the bat, I know that the lowest hanging fruit is to get better at reading putts. So green reading is something that I've been working on since I did this sheet for the first time. I made a video on what I do now to be more accurate in my green reading, and you can see that right up here. The next thing I'm noticing on my stats is I tend to miss to the right quite often. We can dig in a little deeper and see that especially on 10-footers and 15-footers, my misses to the right are quite frequent. Now, if we dive in a little deeper still, on putts that break to the right, I'm missing almost 40% of the time to the right. That's a lot of misses right. And knowing that I'm missing right more than I'm making these putts, without even improving at putting, I can just shift my aim to the left a little bit and I'm gonna hole more putts. The next thing I notice on these stats though is when I have a straight putt in front of me, I have a high tendency to leave those putts short. I'm probably concentrating so hard on hitting that straight line that I'm not focusing on hitting the right distance, thus leaving a lot of those putts short. So just being aware of that makes it so much easier for me to correct that, for me to right the ship, and for me to start sinking more putts. Okay, so I built this spreadsheet just a couple of months ago. After implementing it, I went from 2.0 putts per round down to 1.8 putts per round. That's about 3 strokes per 18 holes of golf. My handicap in the last 2 months has dropped from a 13.3 down to a 10.5, largely because of this spreadsheet right here. If you like these tools I'm sharing, hit that like and subscribe. There's plenty more where that came from. I'm gonna do another sheet similar to this one based on ball striking to help you see where your common misses are and show you how to correct those misses. It's gonna be Really awesome. That's coming up in the next couple of weeks. Subscribe to my channel so you can see when that thing comes out, and let's see who gets to scratch first.